to the trees, and they never listen to me.
Old, I talked to the trees. We had Alan Peck on from the park, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago. But one of these days we'll have a theme of our own that we'll be able to play. We do have rules. Welcome to Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media. We are broadcasting live and worldwide from downtown Westerly, streaming on a whole bunch of platforms that DJ Gadget will tell you about later when Ben Barber lets her get to the controls. While they're doing their switching around, I'll tell you about today's guests. Right now, we have to my left, we have Louise Bishop. She is, unless they've changed your title, President and CEO?
South County.
Okay, President, CEO of the South County Tourism. We're going to talk today a little bit about trolls and a lot about Atlantis Rising, what you can do with a sand pail, except they have a lot more than a plastic sand pail and a shovel like I had when I was 4 years old. And then at 4 o'clock, it is more great South County tourism. Lisa Kanicki will be here from the Ocean Community Chamber. She was scheduled, then she wasn't scheduled, but she's back. So she will be here at 4 o'clock. But we're going to start with Louise. So welcome.
Thank you.
And I know people that live in the Westerly area have been driving down Route 1, down our post road for a while now, and seeing this magnificent sculpture in front of the Ocean Community Chamber.
Yes.
And every time we have lousy weather, which has been most of spring, I drive down and it's raining and it's windy and it's miserable and there's no sand blowing. It is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
It is.
That's because they're professionals, aren't they?
Yes. There are masters, international masters that come in to do the work for us. But it also has to do with the fact that we get a specific type of sand. And it's a quarry sand that packs.
Not like I had in the playground when I was 4.
Not like on our beaches. Yes. And
not at all like the beaches. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually I liken it to the finest graded salt you can get. It has that consistency when you touch it. So if you put some in your hand and you ran your hand under water so it got damp, you open up your hand, it remains packed in that same mold of your hand. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yes, it's incredible. And then when they do this, so that all the competitors have 14 tons of sand to work with.
Oh, so they all start
with
on an even plane.
Exactly. And they all have the same square footage to work within, and then they can make them as tall as they want.
And they can do whatever they want.
Exactly. As long as it's more family friendly,
Yes.
But the way they start is with these foundations, these boxes that have been built to certain dimensions, and they're a couple feet deep. So then, depending on whatever design that they're going to create, they pack the sand, they water it and pound it, and then it gets really firm. And then the next box goes on top of that one, and the next, and all the way up to, I think, 14 feet.
Wow.
And so they know what they're going to create. They start at the top and build down.
They start at the top
Yes.
and build down.
Yes.
That is, I know when I was volunteering a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last year, when we were at Misquamicut Beach.
Yes.
All of them, it was the day before, so all of them pretty much had their entire sculpture completed. They were doing finishing touches.
Correct.
So I've never seen it from the top down. I've never seen how they start.
Yes. There is video out there right now that you can see how they
Gadget,
start.
can you tell us if people are out there not in our area and they want to see what these look like, how they can get to South County Tourism's website, or you said Atlantis Rising has their own?
It would
It's on
be
our-
southcountyri.com.
Correct.
Okay,
And I can pull up some pictures too for
great.
in a little bit.
That's great.
Now, do the people, these are, I know it's international, because I remember last year talking to a man, and I think he won one of the prizes from Iceland, maybe, or no, was one of the Scandinavian
Yes,
countries.
correct. This year he is back. If you won placed at all, you're welcome to come back because it is invitation only for the
Oh,
artists.
that was going to be my next question.
Yes.
Can anybody come?
And compete. Only people who are invited to compete. So this year we have someone from Korea. We have a gentleman from Russia that we had been hoping that he would join us, and Canada, Hawaii, California, Netherlands. Yeah, I think I'm covering.
Yeah, you've
I
got
might be
about
missing
6
somebody.
or
I might be
7.
missing somebody. But the competitors, there's 10 competitors. But there are 14 artists with us due to all the additional sponsor walls and other creations within the park that we're doing, within the park that we have within our walls of the
Okay,
area.
you just
Yeah.
said within the park. People that are listening or watching us stream know that they were at Misquamicut Beach prior, but this year they will be at.
Ninigret Park in Charlestown.
It's really a better. I think it's a better location. Yeah, it's nice to have sand sculptures on the beach, but you've got so much more room at Ninigret.
We do, and we actually outgrew Misquamicut. We had to close our gates several times for parking due to the parking lack of. And we just decided, instead of doing another year, the third year, let's just move it into a place that could be more permanent, and the doors are open. What we love about it is, number one, there's very little wind in the area that we're in due to all the trees. It's also very green, which you don't have on the Misquamicut parking lot. You may be at the beach, but you're not on the beach.
Right.
And we're just at the point where, yes, okay, we can transition. This would be the right time to do that. So there's more parking, more people. We can tell by we have this geolocation company. It's called Arrivalist. We can tell who comes to that. If you came from an outside area, I can see that you came from Philadelphia. I can see that you came from Jersey City. I can see those kinds of numbers on where people come from. I can also see.
All right, now how do you know that? Are they asked when they check in?
No, it's
people checking their license plates or what?
No, it's geolocation. And so any app on your phone gets traced.
Got it.
Yes. So we can put hotspots, and obviously the park has a hotspot for our event as well as the trolls. But this is how we're able to understand how well we've performed.
Notice Louise just threw it out there like every park has trolls, as well as the trolls. Again, people that don't live here may not know what you're talking about. And boy, if you come to Ninigret Park for this, you're getting 2 for the price of 1.
You are. You truly are. If you haven't seen the giant trolls yet, you're going to be
We've got
amazed.
pictures of that. In fact, so we don't drive gadget crazy, you can take this right out of USA Today.
I got it.
Oh, you do?
Good.
On the front page?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know if you could do both.
I'm
and-
amazing.
Yes, you are
Yeah.
amazing. That's great.
Yes.
Yes. So this gentleman it's Thomas Stambo, right?
Correct. Thomas Dambo.
He came from Denmark.
Yes.
Was it last year or
He's
2
been-
years?
We
the
cut
time
the
is.
ribbons. I know it's true that we cut the ribbon May 8th of last year on the 2 trolls that are in Ninigret.
And they're wonderful.
They
They're
are.
so wonderful.
They are amazing. Each troll has a name. It has its own backstory, and we're working on the next 3. They won't be in Ninigret Park, but they are the beginning of the Rhode Island Troll Trail.
I love that. The Rhode Island Troll Trail, the
Yes.
tiniest state in the
Yes.
country, is
Has-
going to have a troll trail.
We're going to have the giants. Yes. Uh-huh.
That
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes.
And the other 3 will be
So we have, this is kind of funny. We've got 2 heads in transit being shipped over right now. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how this works. Thomas came in several months ago to check the sites, and then already had an idea of what he wanted to do. So the heads got created quickly, and then so those are in South County, just 2 other towns in South County, and we haven't announced them yet.
Oh, okay.
But there will be one, an additional one. Blackstone Valley Tourism raised their hand
Way
and
up.
said, we would really like to have one. Now, it's the Rhode Island Troll Trail. So we opened it up to everybody. We opened it up to Newport
Smart.
and their towns. And yeah, it doesn't mean that this is the last one, the last 3, I should say, because that's what will be happening. And we're anticipating the build out for South County to be around August 11th. And
Of this year.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to volunteer, they just have to reach out to our office.
And the best way to do that is
I would say just give us a call. Go to our website,
Okay.
southcountyri.com. And then you'll, if you live in South County, this is going to be very easy for you.
so there will be, when these are completed at the 2 locations you can't announce yet, there will be 4 in South County
Correct.
and 1 all the way up in Blackstone Valley. And for those who don't know, that's right up by the Massachusetts border.
Yeah.
And that now opens up the state to all these other communities. Should get on with it, because you've got 38 miles going up.
There you go. Exactly that. And it is an economic driver. We were able to
Oh,
see.
of course.
We were able to see once again from our geolocation. We put the pin on the park. We redacted the days that there were other events happening there. And then after the first week, I think it was 6,300 people came the first week. Now you got to know that's May. There's not a lot of people. That was probably mostly locals. But then
That's pretty good.
when you look back at the end of July, there was like about 66,000 people that went to that park.
Oh,
Yes.
my.
That was the end of July. So even more through August and September and October. Yeah. So
Yeah.
It is an economic driver.
Sure. And now you've got 2 reasons to go.
Absolutely.
When will this be? Let's go back to Atlantis Rising.
Yes.
When will that be open to the public? I know there's a press thing this weekend, but
Yeah.
when will Joe and Mary public be
Yes.
able to go?
On Friday, it opens at noon,
Oh,
closes
good.
out at 7:30.
This Friday.
This Friday. Yes, the 30th. And then the 31st on Saturdays, 10 to 7:30. And then Sunday, the awards will happen late in the day on Sunday. Opens at 10, closes out at 6.
So if
So-
you want the 2 for the price of 1, you go this weekend. After this weekend, it's just the trolls.
That's
that sounds
correct.
ridiculous to
I
say
know, right,
just the
exactly.
trolls.
Here's
Exactly.
an example of what they're talking about by Atlantis Rising on your screen.
I can see that.
Like there's a sculpture with knit. It looks like knit. It's not knit. It's sand.
Correct, that
That's
is-
crazy.
That was the winner last year.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That is just amazing.
I don't care what you do it with. If you do it with like clay,
Right.
sand, this is talent. This is
Oh, it's
amazing.
art.
It's
And I know
absolutely
the
that.
one that has been installed at the chamber has
Yes.
been there now several weeks.
Ow.
Yes.
And if I remember from last year, it was there several months before it was taken
it
down.
was. And
It's virtually indestructible.
the reason for that is that they take a glue, much like Elmer's glue, and water, dilute it, and then they spray it down, and it gets sprayed, a weekly. So what it does is it creates essentially a 3 millimeter crisp crunch to the outside of it. So like you'd have to really, to damage it, you'd have to,
Well, hopefully nobody's
happen with
going
just
to
a light
damage
finger.
it.
no.
Now,
it's-
what do the winners win cash? I would assume if
do.
they didn't come from other countries just to look around and say it's
No.
a pretty place.
That is correct. It's a competition, and the reward is the money, but it is also the invitation back the next year. So there's a
That must mean everything to get the invitation back.
apparently we have the organizers, Greg Grady and Greg Grady Jr. So we call them G1, G2. We have they organize all the art because they are artists themselves as well, and they're getting calls from everywhere asking if they can come. So it's really, and then you think about it, we only have 14 of them here.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing that you're getting calls all over the world.
And these people have obviously heard of it, because when you're saying Korea and Russia,
Yeah.
and even Canada,
Yes.
how have they heard about it? But obviously on online, on
It's a very
social
small,
media,
it's also a smaller, industry.
small
A
community.
small community of artists. Yeah, it really is.
So they
And-
must know each other, the
Yeah.
top people.
And it's when we were doing our research, we went to 2 or 3 of these, only in the United States. But that's how we understood what could happen. How we could make this work and how we
Right.
would set it up here, and then meeting them, because Greg Senior and Son run the one in Hampton Beach. So
That one I've
Mhm.
seen. I was
So,
going to say,
yeah.
I've been to one in New Hampshire at the beach.
Yeah, so I reached out to him and said, we're going to come up. Hopefully, you have some time for us and talk about what our vision is for this. And he just ran with it. It was really true.
Where are they actually from, G1 and G2?
Greg Senior was born and raised in Boston, and then moved up to New Hampshire.
Oh, all
yeah,
right. So
so-
they are local to New England.
Yeah, they're New Englanders. Yes. Yeah. So this was just really, honestly, very easy to do when you have people like that who understand how to put things together. And
Easy to do for you, not for the guys who
Oh,
are standing
no,
out
there's
there
nothing-
doing it.
Nothing easy
Because
about
they
that.
also do it in all kinds of weather. I remember being at the beach last year before they
It was
opened.
cold.
It was cold and it was windy because you had the ocean right
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And it was cloudy and miserable. And these people were bundled up, but they were
and
working.
they were doing it. And I think that was another reason why we decided to change the date. Was let's get it to a shoulder season, but right on the edge, so we could have better weather. And that was, we had received a grant from Commerce, the governor, and
Good.
Secretary Liz Tanner, to assist us this year and get this thing, going even further without that massive expense. But we also realized, okay, we're going to transition. We were without a gallery tent the first year, and then we got one the next year, and now this year it's a substantial.
Oh, you have
gallery.
to have a tent.
Yeah, it's really. It is also more professional when you're walking through a gallery like that.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling.
Okay, so now you have families or single individuals who want to come.
Yes.
What is the cost for them to come in or to park, or is the parking free?
Their parking is free.
And if you've never been to Ninigret Park, there are thousands of spaces.
Yes, it's
and
quite
much
large.
to see.
Yeah, this is why it's easy for us to grow there in that location. But so for adults, it's $15, and the entrance fee is at the door. There's no online ticket sales, and then
And that won't slow down the traffic going out into Route 1?
the way they have them looping through in and out of the park, it's all controlled by volunteer groups, and they
Right.
are the ones that are used to doing it for the seafood
For the seafood
Yes,
festival.
for the seafood
Yeah, that's
festival.
usually seniors helping others or
Yeah,
something
it's
that
a
are
lot.
out there.
Actually, they have many groups that help, and many have stepped forward for us as well. I'm so grateful for that. So kids under 6 are free, but anybody between there and 10 is $7.
That's still so reasonable.
You know what? This kind of art reaches all ages, just like the trolls.
And
it's for
also,
everyone.
It's getting people in the outdoors.
Yes, exactly.
Which is what you want.
Yes.
From what I have seen, and I think our weather people are pretty accurate because they're working with American models, European models. I will stick up for our weather people all the time. But from what I have seen, it's going to be a warm weekend.
It's looking that way.
Partly cloudy, but the weather's going to keep getting warmer. And I think it's going to be ideal. And you can't take your family out anywhere for that low a price and have such a good time.
It's there's many.
Will there be concessions, food concessions?
There's
food trucks.
There's other people, merchandise people.
I know there's merchandise.
Yeah. What
people.
else we've done though is we have a theme, and the theme is it's a fairy woodlands kind of theme. So there are so many photo ops that we're going to surprise people. The kids are going to have so much fun.
Somebody last holiday season sent me, and I can't remember now who it was, but they sent me a Christmas card where they had taken the picture with their kids. Right. And I can't remember which troll it was, but it was what a great Christmas card that makes.
Exactly. Well, this event,
and now you've got sand sculptures.
Right. And this event also has characters in costume. So you're gonna be so surprised by all these other characters that you can do photo ops with, and it's hilarious.
And it
to be quite honest,
like
to see
from
it.
a demographic standpoint, it's perfect.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Are the will there be? I'm thinking of people who might have wheelchairs or walkers. Is there a good path, or is it tamped down enough?
There's plenty of handicap parking and very accessible. Yes, due to those runways. Those runways are what make it easier for people to navigate. Because that park was an airfield.
That's great.
Yeah. So you have all the green space, and you still have stretches of green grass and whatever, but you still have those runways. And so that
goes back to World War II.
It does.
I've walked those runways.
Yes. Probably wondered what they were.
No, I knew what they were because they did have some. They have some plaques when you get deep in.
Oh, okay.
You can read the history.
Yeah.
So I will say, mildly off topic in a way. When I was taking care of my dad who had Alzheimer's, I always was looking for, like, what do I say to him? He's nonverbal now. Blah blah blah. Stuff like this with the visual stuff. Yes. It's sand castles. Rona asked me, when you were little, did you have a pail and a shovel? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. Like, who doesn't have a pail and a shovel? And those are the moments, and those are the events that I wish I had like a foresight on.
Sure.
But if you're a caretaker at all, somebody who's limited mobility, somebody who is limited cognitive function, go to this.
Yes.
It's going to be like a conversation without
people.
Yeah. Sure. It's going to be a conversation without words. If you have a nonverbal family member, because my dad was nonverbal for years, and I was like, what do you say? Well, I just started talking at him. I just started playing country music because that's what he liked, or showing him big trucks because that's what he drove. And so, like, everybody's going to remember going to the beach and making a sand castle. Everybody knows what sand is.
Sure.
Right.
It's really cool.
We also have a tent that is for adults and children. So we realized that, and we have people teaching.
Oh,
yes. So
teaching kids like how to do that kind of work.
So
I know somebody who'll go.
Our carpenter built these tables.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how much sand they load into it, but then there's forms that will help them too. Then we realized the adults want to learn how to do that as well. So we built higher tables. For
kids, you can't reach it.
And then there's so there's always an artist in there teaching.
I love that.
And there's a lot of interaction with that.
This is great. This isn't just go pay admission, take some pictures, and go home.
No, it's not.
You can spend the whole afternoon there.
There's so much going on. Yeah.
Again, keep repeating the hours. It's opening to the public on Friday.
This Friday, noon to 7:30. And then Saturday and Sunday, it opens at 10 in the morning.
Wonderful.
So 3 days. You've got 3 days. to enjoy
And it
the
doesn't
outside.
get dark now till at least 8 o'clock.
This is, yeah.
And this is wide open. I mean, you've got the planetarium there too.
Right, it
So
is.
there's so much that's at
Yeah.
Ninigrid
It
Park.
has a really nice feeling.
It is.
I was there this morning. I was still moving things around, and I felt this positive vibe of peacefulness out there, and seeing it come together and realizing this place is going to be filled with families and single people and older people. It's, like I said, it reaches all ages, just like those trolls do.
Yeah.
It's all ages. Yeah, it's really wonderful.
And you can, I was going to say bring your camera, but just about everybody has a phone.
Right.
So
yeah.
they're bringing their camera.
Yeah. And they have multiple photo ops for them as well. There's a local artist, Alice Dugan, who's painting these 7-foot butterfly wings. So you're going to be able to take a picture of yourself inside this butterfly, and it is gorgeous.
Inside a butterfly?
Well, in the
Wow.
wings. In the wings. So you'll be the body.
So it
of
looks
the
like you
butterfly.
have wings.
You looks like you have wings.
There's
They're
a Christmas
beautiful.
card.
Yes. Oh, so and
Or you make your own note cards.
it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like I said, all the characters that are dressed in
Now,
their costume.
all those ideas, did they come from South County Tourism or from the artists you're working with? Because you guys are always thinking of stuff. Anytime we have had you on the air with us, I mean, you've got a very small staff with
We do.
very big creative brains.
That's what we have. That's what we have. And we have met so many wonderful people along the way, like a Place Construction, Zach Place. He has jumped in on like creating those wings. We have Dana Hollis, who does our event art and creative, and her mind just goes 80 miles an hour, and it's all these different things that she's like, well, if this is a theme, let's do this, let's do that. And she starts working months and months in advance.
And you do have merch.
And we do.
People
We
can get
do.
shirts,
Yeah.
you can
So-
get stuff.
Yeah, we were really kind of slow on that one. But we did that last year. And now with the trolls, we had to get the permission to have the trolls shirts printed. We got permission from the artist. And then the proceeds are going back to the park.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah. Well,
how many acres is that park? I mean, I've lived here
I don't know.
forever. I used to go to the circus when they had the Big Apple Circus there.
Yeah.
I've been to every seafood festival of the last 25 or 30 years. And it always amazes me how big it is.
I know it's over.
You don't bump into people if you're walking.
No,
ever.
It's over 200 acres. And then it has water access to Ninigrid in a couple locations. It's really
227 acres.
227. Thank you.
I'd hurt myself for that.
Oh my.
Well, you know what? We're going to
beautiful.
take a break so that you can recover. And I have something to help you recover. This is Louise Bishop. We are talking about something you don't want to miss this weekend, and there's plenty of opportunities. This is Man About Town. We are produced by a very sore DJ Gadget and 321 Media. And we will be back after some local problems and happiness.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance. and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Here we are back at Sandy Shores. Actually, that is
That
the
is a
name-
place.
That I was going to
Like-
say. That's the name of one of our motels down at Misquamicut. But DJ Gadget asked a really good question.
So I was
Um,
used to it
Every
being
now
at-
and then you come up with
I'm
them.
smart once in a while. I was thinking of Misquamicut because that's where is where this event kind of was like inception, right? And so I was like,
started.
what about the dune restoration? That's always been a constant effort here. What happens to all this? I didn't realize it was 14 tons of sand per. I thought they had to share
No,
per
she said
artist.
She
And
did.
so all this sand seems like a great opportunity.
It would be. It's always offered to the towns, but generally it's used within their town for construction purposes and not restoration of the beach. We have to keep in mind that every sculpture, to maintain its integrity, is sprayed with that
Glue.
combination of glue
Yeah.
and water. So unless that sand got processed, they wouldn't put it back out on a
All
beach.
right.
And
Yeah, that
it's
makes
quarry
sense.
sand. It would be great on a beach, to be
Mhm.
quite honest. It's much softer than our own sand.
It is soft.
Oh, it's extremely
Oh my God,
soft.
I want to roll in it. I need to make a friend with an artist. Just let me
gotta-
roll in it before you glue it.
It's amazing.
I don't think they're going to let you roll
I
it.
don't
No,
in
not
it.
just that, but it does stick to you.
Oh,
And
It's
if you get it
exfoliating?
on your feet, you get in the car, it's stuck on that rug. You better go
oh Lord.
Oh.
vacuum it. Yeah, it's that fine. It is that fine.
Here's a question that I thought of. You know, when you're invited to a cookout, or it can even be just someone's home, they're having a party, and they say, you know, we want everybody to bring something, whatever you want to bring. Normally, people have gotten smart because they don't want 15 people to bring potato chips and nobody brings ketchup or mustard or salads or whatever. So they usually ask, do you ask the artists in advance of the event, what are you doing, so you don't get 3 sculptures of the same thing, 3 Eiffel Towers, or
So that's up to the gentleman who oversees this.
that's G1 and G2?
That's correct. But
Okay.
we don't dictate anything to them at all. You know, it has to be from them. And
right.
each one generally has a story. Each one of them, you know, is like, okay, this is titled this, and this is the backstory to whatever it is. So it's an interesting thing. You really want to read. You'll read the bios there. You'll also see the stories.
Now, where are the bios? Is there a program
We
that
have
people get?
big stands that have them, and those
My
bios
God,
are.
you guys think of everything. You
they're-
really do.
Well, thank goodness. For
So somebody can take a picture of
Yes,
that
you
and
can.
then say, this is what I saw that he made.
exactly, and it's right in front of it.
Are they all he's? The
No.
There are
some women.
female
Yeah,
artists too?
yes, yeah, and you'll see different countries, men, women, all artists, all masters, I should say,
Yeah.
in demand. It's amazing how busy they are, and
do
they're
you
busy
know their
internationally everywhere.
Do you know their stories and their backgrounds as far as how they got to do this for a living? You know, did they start as regular sculptors using clay, or
It's interesting. Most of the artists that I've met over these past several years all have backgrounds, obviously art backgrounds, but different mediums. And some of them still are painters. Some of them are still sculptors in different ways, but all are highly talented people.
so? This is almost like being a professional golfer, where you
They
do
are.
a tournament and then you move on to the next country or city,
Exactly
and you
that.
just keep competing. They make their
It's
living
like
this way,
forever
correct?
summer.
So it's not, and it's not always a competition. We're a competition, but they might be in Dubai doing some massive, where they hire 8 of them to come in and do something that's the size of a building, and there's a theme to it, whatever's going on over there. That's the contract that they have to come in and do that work.
How is their transportation paid? Are they responsible for their own?
Their transportation, a stipend for food is all included in the contracts.
Wow.
So when
And
they
they're-
are invited, they are given X number of dollars. And whether they're coming from Korea, Russia, or Miami, it's the same amount
Yes.
as far as
And,
travel.
and unless, well, of course, it's yes. Obviously, we have a gentleman from Korea, we have a gentleman from Russia, and we want those people to come in. So we're bringing them in. If you're going to do something at this level and have it grow, you need to put your best foot forward every moment, and make sure that they stay rested, they're comfortable, because every single day
I was
is a
gonna ask-
lot of work.
Where do they stay?
So basically in the Musquamaca area, and they are there this year as well.
All right, they're not at the Ocean House.
No, they're not.
Okay. Because that's, for people who don't know this area, we don't have a Hampton Inns and Holiday Inns and
Right.
all of that. Lodging is very limited here.
It is, and we're more of a luxury market. So,
Yes.
so
They should. Oh, no. Sometimes I get an idea and I just scream it out. They should make a castle that they can stay in. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a sand castle, right?
Have you ever had an interactive one sculpture, like where
No,
you
we
walk
haven't.
through it? That's an idea,
that's
guys.
an idea.
I mean, you have the interactive butterfly wings.
I was going
Right.
to say the butterfly wing.
Yeah.
What a beautiful.
We have a
idea
Hobbit
that
house
is.
out there. We have,
you
yeah,
really?
because the whole theme is, it's fairies and woodland creatures and all this kind of stuff. So you're going to see that, as well as you'll see pirates. Because that is also Atlantis Rising.
Do you
And
know
of
a
course,
pirate's
kids are going to just love.
Oh,
that.
it's Captain Jack is at our event. Like, it's really gonna be. It's
you-
hilarious to see, because he actually does these programs. So he's got
That's
his
awesome.
own mic and whatever, and he does interaction, and it's all kids, and it's hilarious.
You're saying Captain Jack from the restaurant, Captain Jack?
No.
from the movie,
movie,
Pirates of the
movie.
Caribbean.
and he looks just like him. That's the crazy part.
Wow.
Does he walk just like them?
Everything
I would
about
be
him.
concerned about him. No. Do you know a
Well,
pirate's
South
favorite
County
letter?
does
It's
have
a
a
great-
Captain Jack's restaurant,
yeah,
and I
no,
thought maybe
no.
it was the owner dressed up.
no.
No.
Do you know
Oh.
a pirate's favorite letter?
No, what is it?
Oh, here comes a pun. I know
Come
it.
on. You can't think of a pirate's favorite letter?
I.
You think it's IE, but it's the C.
Oh, that's the C.
Usually people say R, but
Uh,
okay.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
I didn't give him that
And
much thought.
we let her come to work.
You missed me.
Yes, we did miss
I've
you.
been trapped away
Missed
in a
your
castle.
dog too.
I know. she'll be
Maybe
here.
more than you.
Probably. I
Yes,
miss my dog
Roxy
more
the
than-
radio dog is on location. Normally I say she's on location with Lester Holt. This is Lester Holt's last week, so I don't think she's with Lester. But she'll be with someone else when she's not here.
Wow.
Okay, I thought of something else before we get into all this silliness. And I'm just, the more you're talking, the more I am just so impressed. It is not just go take a picture and go home.
No,
It is, you can spend hours.
you can interact, and
And it's so good for your family to be outdoors. There's plenty of walking trails. You've got the food concessions. You said the
yeah.
food trucks.
and music. There's a band that
There will be music.
There'll be music. It's a very leisurely experience. Like you're not going to hurry through this kind of experience. You're
Why
just
would you?
enjoy being outside and seeing all this creative around you and then trying to figure out how they
I
do
know
it.
what I was going to ask you. The artists are chosen by G1 and G2.
Yes, correct.
So these masters are submitting, obviously, photographs, videos, their resumes, where they've been, what they've won, and they're chosen by that.
So pretty much because that that group is a very small group, they all know each other, and they understand what type of work each one does. I don't think anyone's submitting a resume at this point.
So it is like the golf tour where
Yeah.
they all know each other and they travel pretty much together.
Or they're, yes, working on a contract in another country on a big installation. So they know each other that way. Yeah, it's that small of an industry where I would say they do.
Industry. Interesting that you say that. For people that have just tuned in, gotten on the platform, please explain what this is, where it is, when it is, and what each artist is getting, because they ain't there with a paint by numbers set.
No, definitely not. So Atlantis Rising was created, 4 years ago when we started to work on it.
Who came up with the name?
My creative director, Faye Pantazopoulos. Yeah.
Marvelous.
Yes.
Marvelous
really,
name.
You can work off that so easily. And she does all the creative that way. All of our collateral, everything, you name it. She's in charge of all of that. She's
Like I said,
amazing.
you've got a brilliant staff.
She's incredible. So we did our homework, checking out, I believe it was 3 different competitions or just big installations in different places in the United States. And then we met up with Greg Grady.
And excuse me, tell them what this is. I mean, what the installations are. It's not
Yes.
hanging a picture on a wall in a
No.
gallery.
So this is a gallery with 10 installations of sand sculpture. Every artist has the same square footage, and you can see it's framed in. They each have 14 tons of sand, and it's quarry sand, very, very fine and packs beautifully. And then
They bring their own tools with them, obviously.
yeah, you have to imagine the tools are not very big. You know, with what they do.
No, I remember watching one of them. It almost looked like surgical tools, where they're sculpting, like they were doing that kind of surgery.
Yeah, like dental tools or wax carving people tools. It's kind of interesting to watch. But that's how they get the detail and what they're doing. You know, it's just every time I'm mind blown every time by what they've created. And just one of the sponsor walls out there, it's hard to believe it's not a competition piece.
Right.
It's at that level. And I was stunned this morning to see it.
Wow.
It was really detailed.
No, I asked you earlier, what are they competing for? And they're competing for cash.
Yes.
Where does that money come from? Is this come from admissions? Is this from South County, Rhode Island tourism?
Yes.
Who's responsible for paying off?
That's
the
us.
people?
That's South County Tourism Council. And so also very grateful for the grant funds that
that's
the
right.
governor
You
and
said-
Secretary Liz Tanner.
Yeah, Commerce Secretary.
Yeah, very, very. They recognized the value of what we're doing, and it's kind of the last of the COVID money. And you know what? It just gives you that little extra boost. Because the first year you're building out an event like that, you have to build those signs that have people's portfolio on them, the artists. You have to build all that out. So you're just spending so much money.
It's all going
to
out, not
properly
much
do
coming
it.
in.
That's right. Exactly. So, but we were shocked by the volume of people. And then the next year, even better. So the next year we got a tent. Now this year we have a structural tent.
This is year number 3 or 4?
This is 3.
This is 3.
This is 3. We just moved it from October to spring,
Right.
So that the weather would be nicer. It'll be
Oh,
easier.
I do remember
Yeah.
how cold it was last year.
Yeah,
yes.
too cold for the rest of us. And we actually, in the back of our minds, we're kind of having the conversation about maybe we move it to the end of June. We just go a little bit closer into the season.
Mhm.
We're looking at, increasing our occupancy levels at our hotels and just increasing tourism.
Based on the traffic that was here for Memorial Weekend,
Yes.
they're here. They're coming in.
We
Mhm.
can definitely see
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah. So, and we're funded by hotel tax, and our job is be the marketing and PR body for the region and create events if that's what we have time to do. And
If you have time.
well,
Right.
and so we have been talking about. Well, I've been in a place for 9 years now. I started talking about a sand competition 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and then
They finally listened to you, Louise.
well, it was about us putting it together. It wasn't about anybody else, and it was about timing. And so it took a little.
You had a lot of details.
We had a lot. We had a lot of.
I mean, yeah, because
research.
anybody can have a sand competition, but to have a worldwide
Yes.
poll is
Yeah.
a little bit more than just
Yeah.
Yes.
let's go to
Well,
the beach.
We wanted to do it sooner, but COVID got in our way. And the same goes for the Thomas Dambo Trolls. I got stuck in the Jersey airport. And you're hanging around. Okay, well, I'll go see if there's any books or magazines. I find this magazine that has a picture of Hector the Protector, Guardian of the Seas. He resides in Puerto Rico. As soon as I saw that troll, I took a screenshot and I sent it over to our creative director, Faye, and said, we need trolls. They need to move to Rhode Island. And so we started that. And Thomas was going to come out in the spring of 2020. And that's when COVID hit.
That's right.
Because we reached out to him in the fall of 2019, right when I saw Hector. And that was it. And so
when
we were
he
delayed.
came to do the trolls, he brought his family. He brought his kids and everything.
His boys, his
I
boys.
thought that was great. So they
Yeah.
get to see a bit of the world as well. He's from Denmark, correct?
He is originally Copenhagen. And but
We just jumped right over, and people might be saying, wait a minute,
Yeah.
what does Thomas have to do with sand?
Mm.
Explain what else is going to be at Ninigret
Yes,
Park.
so Ninigret Park, aside from our Atlantis Rising International Sand Sculpture, you have two of Thomas Dambo's trolls that you can take a walk and go see them and take a picture and learn about their story.
Are they up on the screen now, the trolls? No, they're not.
He's a recycled
We are.
artist. So
Uh-huh.
everything he uses is recycled. So most of these trolls, they're made from pallets. And everyone in Southern Rhode Island, every company I could even name has donated pallets. And then he decides, well,
Well, it's hard to fly on a plane from Denmark with pallets.
now like I said, the heads came over on the ship. So anyway,
This is Eric.
Eric Rock and
Rock.
Greta Granite.
The one thing that I liked, I got to talk to him, and he takes the name and kind of splits it, and he takes something from the town or the area, and he takes something from home.
He
So-
names it, right?
So
Yes, he does.
Eric is ERIK,
Correct.
which
Right.
is from
Scandinavian.
Denmark. Yeah, and so like
Scandinavian
that was
spelling.
from his home, and then from our home is granite. So we have Greta Granite. Greta
Ah.
is Scandinavian. Greta Granite for Rhode Island, and then Eric Rock because granite.
Yes, all those rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of fascinated by that. As I'm touring him around, he's asking about the fields that are lined with the stones. And so we go back into the history about those, who made those. The indigenous people did that, all those, hundreds of years ago.
Right.
And I don't know if this was meant to be, or if it was just did he walk around and say, oh, right here, like this is where, or did he mean to have Eric a little bit further up than Greta for accessibility?
No.
Or
So
you just-
what we did was, as I said, we drove him around and then took him over to Heliblock and got him in a helicopter and had him fly over the park. It was the only way we were going to get the spot that we needed.
What a project.
And so,
And the park said wherever he picks is okay with us?
I think we altered one space. We had to alter one space due to, I can't remember exactly what was in that area. But everybody worked with us. Everybody at the park, at the town council, the town manager. I mean, it couldn't have been like any better to have people that just literally said, yeah, let's make this happen. And,
Well,
it's
sure. And look what
wonderful.
it did for commerce. I mean, God bless you. Look what it did for Charlestown. And it probably spilled over into Wakefield and Westerly. And and the area.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But the restaurants, motels,
Yes.
shops,
Yes.
I'm sure those people were absolutely thrilled.
Yes. Well, something like that, as I said, we had used our digital location, our arrivalist that gives us the location, your locations, and count the people and see how many number of people and where they came from that go into the park. And then what's ordinarily as close as you can for them. We know that they said they had to put in more bathrooms. That just never
Wow.
seen so many people coming to the park. And it's wonderful. People having a wonderful, a great time with their families.
It's
just
a
walking
beautiful
around.
park. It's a beautiful area.
It is.
I mean, I'm prejudiced because I live down here. You're
Yes,
prejudiced.
right, yes.
But South County, Rhode Island has so much to offer.
It really does. A lot more than people. If you get off the beaten path, you'll realize how much is out there that you didn't look into just because all you did was go to the beach. There is a lot more out there.
That's
There's
right.
a lot of
people to
stuff that
see.
make you proud to be
Yeah,
here, to be from
absolutely.
here, to be part of anything here. The Ninigrit Park has actually come up on a lot of forums that I'm part of for chronic pain or for accessibility. It's just something I'm huge on. And Eric is the first troll you come upon.
Yes.
And if you have chronic pain but you like hiking, but you can't get to Greta, you can still experience the trolls. And it's always been a talk topic about Rhode Island as a state, not
Yes.
Westerly, not Ninigrit,
Right.
not this area, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And Ninigrit came up because it's accessible to people with chronic pain who still like the outdoors.
And Greta,
Yeah.
you can access Greta.
You
the
can
back
access
way.
it, but it was like
And
the short
wheelchair.
walk. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
It was like, if you want to go see them, I mean, Eric is first. So if you
Yes.
have to turn around, at least you saw them. And there's a lot of things like geocaching that people enjoyed, but now
Yes.
can't. And so this was like a huge topic. And I was like, I've seen that. I've been there. I know all
That's
about
great.
that.
Yes.
That's where I live. And they were like, oh, no way. You're so lucky. And I'm like,
I mean, if you think about Ninigrit Park, again, the first time I ever was there was for the Seafood Festival,
okay.
shortly after I moved here
Yes.
in the late 80s. And then after that, it was to work / fun because I went to the Big Apple Circus.
Oh, right.
I did
Yes.
a lot of stories in the newspaper for them. They always gave me tickets. I worked with some of the circus people, and it was different every year. So I loved going. And then we had on the air probably 5 years ago, we had the man that runs the planetarium.
Yes.
And
yes.
we learned all about that you can just go there if you're into astronomy.
oh my
and
God, if
all
you're
of that.
not into astronomy, go to a planetarium. They're amazing.
They are amazing.
I mean,
They
there's
are
just
amazing.
so much. And we just had 2 weeks ago, the ladies on from, I always forget, South County volunteers, the Tanners,
Ah.
Deb and her daughter. And there's that. And there's just so much in that park.
Yeah.
And there's the history because, like you said, the landing strips that are now
exactly.
hiking trails. They
Exactly.
really are.
Oh, they definitely are.
And
And the
there's-
access to the water, Ninigrit
Yes.
Park, that's fantastic. To be able to do that and go fishing and just be outside.
Yeah.
Be outside in nature.
So again, tell people when this is on, how much to get in. Parking's absolutely free.
Yes, it is.
So you can even park all around. You can park and go to the sand sculpture. You can go to Greta and what's his name?
Eric Rock.
Eric. And then you can just drive all around the
Yeah,
park.
absolutely. Yeah, it's beautiful. Supposed to be a beautiful weekend. So hopefully, we open on Friday at noon in Ninigrit Park and runs till 7:30, and then Saturday and Sunday opens at 10. Closes at 7:30 on Saturday and
Perfect.
6 on Sunday because the end of Sunday we'll have all the awards, the winners.
And then what happens to the sand sculptures? They just stay there a while, or
no, they don't.
What?
They take them down. What? I think they're going to leave something for the seafood festival or whatever.
Oh, they
Um,
should.
Yeah.
I mean, the
And
seafood
that's really
festival
up
is
to
always
them.
beginning of August, but
Yeah, it's really up to them and not us, because that's their park. But that is how this goes. Yes.
how do they then move them? Big trucks, I would think,
Yes.
rather.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, um,
Oh,
Oh wait, do they stay together? They
what?
just move them?
No. They
do,
don't.
do
stay
they
together.
hold
They
together?
just no. They have to take the tent down and they take all the sand away. That's it. That's how this works.
Well, that's right, because the town gets the sand, and
Mhm.
if there are businesses that want it,
It's
and
either
I'm
the
sure
sound,
there are.
either the town or the company.
Can you hear that? Hey, Joe, give me that nose. You know.
It's funny, but 14 tons is a lot to move,
Oh,
and each one has the 14 tons. And
so
never
it's
mind
140
all
tons.
the other sculptures that are in the park, in the Atlantis Rising section of the park. They go around with a front end loader, and it's a lot.
So when this is over, and you and Faye, and is Joy still with you, Joy
yes, she's
Cordio?
over there.
And do you go back to the office and put your legs up and pop open a beer and say, now what's next?
No, because we're already on. We're already on to the trolls. We're already on to the trolls, and
Wow.
we're already on to next year. And then we'll have that meeting, that wrap up meeting, the week after.
Feedback, what we
Yes.
did right, what could
Yes.
be improved on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'll talk to the town and make the date arrangement for the next year, 2 weeks after all.
And the one thing, and I remember when I first heard it, I said, how can that be? But with a title called South County, Rhode Island Tourism, it sounds like if you're from New Jersey and you're lost, you can run in and get a map. They'll tell you where to go. They'll plan. They don't do that. That's why you have who's coming up next, Lisa from the Ocean Community Chamber.
Exactly. That's her part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ours is the marketing and PR. So if you're in DC and you see a digital billboard that has the beaches of Rhode Island on it, and all the South County kinds of, that comes from us. You're in the Times Square in New York, you see similar, you might see giant trolls at this point. It's there. You understand it comes from us. Our job is to market out, to bring people in. So that's why you don't see us very much in the area, because you already live here. We don't
Right.
need to market to you. You live here.
That's right.
So that's why, you'll see us in Hartford. You'll see us in New Jersey. You'll see us in Philly, all over Baltimore, DC. We make this big run. Pittsburgh
Sure.
even. And obviously north. So that's really what we do. That's our part of
You
tourism.
do it very well. Louise
you.
Bishop, thank you so much. We're going to have you back as we get more into the trolls. Thomas is coming when to work?
I believe he's coming to, I don't have the exact confirmed date, but it's August 11th, roughly. So we'll probably have him for 2 weeks.
Oh, it would be great if we could have him come here with you. If we
Oh.
could do this enough in advance. I know when he's here, he wants to work. But if he could come in
Yeah.
and just take a break or come
Yeah.
with the family or whatever, we would just love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet somebody who does trolls for a living
Sure.
all over the
Sure.
world.
Well, you'll have to come out to the site
Well,
and
absolutely.
see what he's doing and chat with him, and
We could do a man
remote.
about town
a remote.
from a
Yes,
troll
We
site.
can do a remote.
I think that's a great idea.
We
That's
do
great.
remotes. We're
Yeah.
doing one in a few
Yeah.
weeks. So yes, we
That would
certainly
be
could.
fantastic. And we are going to do, we're going to do another evening with Thomas.
Wonderful.
We did the United Theater
Yes.
last time he was here. It was sold out in days.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Because where else are you going to go and meet somebody like that in your lifetime?
I think the surprise was, okay, this just sold out in a matter of days. Do people really know who he is? And it was just like, yes, they do,
Yes,
because
they
he's
do.
international.
Yes.
And it's really, truly amazing.
And if
yeah.
they didn't know, they were going to know. They know
Yeah.
the guy's coming who builds trolls.
Well, interestingly enough, when we were putting together our volunteer list, we had some guy fly in from California and stay for the week to volunteer.
wow.
We had people come
To be
down
able to
from New
say, hey,
Hampshire.
I
They-
worked with,
I
Yes.
worked with
as an
Yes.
artist, I worked with this acclaimed
Yes.
artist.
And not just that, but it's a very
It's a very cool project.
Yeah, it's a great project, but when people come together like that, there's this camaraderie.
Yeah.
And himself and his team are the nicest people. It just makes it that much more fun. And
Sure. You've got to have patience too. Tremendous.
These people are
patience.
just incredible.
Thank you so much. We are going to have to do the crossover now. We're going to take a break for about 5 minutes. We're going to bring in Lisa from the chamber. We will say thank you so much. And don't miss this, folks. It's this weekend only. Atlantis Rising at Ninigret. And we throw in a couple of trolls.
There you go.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Very nice.
Touchdown, West Philly!
A chance for the Chargers, and they score!
In the front, Fuzzy again!
At Dime Bank, we're all about community. It's who we are. Local communities made up of customers, families, and friends. Business owners invested in helping their communities thrive. Dedicated employees committed to giving back in ways that go beyond banking. If your banking relationship leaves you wanting more, come join our community. It's your bank, your choice, your dime.
And we're back. Welcome into the second hour of Man About Town. And isn't it amazing? It's like magic. We have turned Louise into Lisa. But what a great tourism day this is. And thank you this is actually Lisa's normal slot is to come the last Wednesday of the month. Yes. But Nicole from the Granite Theater had begged me, please, we have to get on. We have to get on. So we switched everything around. And Lisa, being gracious, said, I'm always willing to give my slot up to someone.
I was really confused, but now that I understand, because I was like, have I?
And we're team players. And
then I got this 2 days ago or 3 days ago this. Oh my God, I didn't realize that we have a recital rehearsal. We have Peter Pan Jr. We have, can you get Lisa back? And just like magic, we got Lisa back.
We love to share, happy to step aside when someone else needs the opportunity. And if you're ever in a jam, as long as
Here
I'm not
I am.
committed, right? If you're not
That
in a
is a
jam, here I am.
motto.
All good. So, and of course, this time of year we have a lot to talk about. So
We do.
it's good.
Well, you got
Good.
your voice almost back.
Oh my God, this is the first day. Allie, you said.
Yeah,
it.
when
Now
I
I'm
saw you
struggling a
at
little.
the parade.
This is the first day I can talk, and it goes in and out. Like right now, I can feel. I don't know if it's because the windows are open. Allergies are kicking my butt. It's gone
They're
through
kicking
the
a
whole
lot of
office.
people's butts.
Yeah.
I know that.
We're really struggling.
I know my manicurist, who's originally from Las Vegas and loves hot weather and sunshine, said, I have been praying for rain because she suffers so badly from allergies. And she said, when you get those days, and we're going to have it tomorrow, I guess, when it rains, it gets rid of all that stuff.
Yeah. No,
It looks like it's snowing out.
it's been tough.
by
Why
my
don't you
shop.
just mention my jacket? And since you did, just want to give a
It's
shout out
gorgeous.
to Woody's downstairs.
Ah,
That's where I got it. I just got it. No, Woodman Seas next door to
Woodman.
Woody's. Same family, different
Right.
store. It's fake, so it looks.
It's fake.
It looks like you have a sweatshirt on underneath.
yeah.
I was just thinking, I was like,
this
that
is
is
the style
so like
That all the,
stylish.
like NFL players and stuff wear
Yeah.
this. They wear a hoodie under their jackets.
I was gonna
okay?
say, you look very
But-
WNBA right
I mean,
now.
here I am, on
Hey.
your show.
Oh.
But look, on the
It's just
inside, it's a mock
Whole new
sweatshirt.
show.
Look
So
at that.
it's not a real full, thick, hot sweatshirt. It's just enough to give it that contrast.
And perfect for a day like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Where you
so
need
it's kind of cool.
something.
So
that
shout
is
out to
great.
Woodman Seas. This one's navy and double breasted. They also have it in pink, single breasted.
Ooh.
So go shop your
Pink, it's like Joan
awesome
Jett.
downtown.
Do you
shop.
have the tag still hanging under
No.
your arm?
No. I got it. I think
We're not on
two
that
weeks
style
ago.
yet.
No, that was Minnie Pearl, right?
I was
Off the
going to
hat.
say yes. I was going to say, who
She's
was
too
the
young to
country?
know.
The
I know who
country
Minnie
music
Pearl
lady.
is.
Yes, with the hat with the price tag.
Mm-hmm.
My
You're
dad.
you're
was-
an
I used
old
to make-
soul.
I know.
What
I
was
used
the
to
name of the show? You got it. She never would have gotten that one. Never. Yeah, my dad was a big fan of that show and country western music and all that stuff back in the day. So I definitely
I
I'm
can
familiar.
go
I
even
I was gonna
farther.
say Grand Ole Opry, and I'm like, no, that's
Oh,
not
that
it.
wouldn't have
I
been too
can
bad of
go
a guess.
even farther back, not because of age, but because when I was a little kid and my parents wanted to go out, they hired this babysitter who was this old lady, and she could not wait till she got in our house and my parents left, and she'd say, "It's time for Lawrence Welk." And
Oh, geez.
and I
Talk
grew
about-
I grew up with the Champagne Lady and the Lennon sisters
Oh my
and
gosh.
and all those people. So when Hee Haw came around and some people complained, I said,
Hey,
you
this
have
is
no
more
idea.
interesting.
"This is way better."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
liked Roy Clark.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny how just thinking about TV shows from our youth can bring back so
Youth.
many memories.
You have
Yep.
to say it like a Rhode
There you go.
Islanders. Are you?
And then like what was considered racy or inappropriate back then. I wasn't allowed to watch Happy Days
What?
or Laverne and Shirley
Wait
or
a minute.
BJ and the Bear. These were on my you are not allowed to watch list. I'm going to keep you preserved forever. You can't hear these things, think these
And
things.
wait a minute.
do
Happy
these
Days
things.
has to be because of the Fonz, right?
Yeah, she thought he had too much
But what was wrong with what was
Mojo,
the middle
too much-
one you had?
Laverne and Shirley.
What's wrong with that?
Same thing, too much flirtation and
Pepsi and milk.
innuendo and all that
Oh.
kind of stuff. Yeah. And then BJ and the Bear and the Dukes of Hazzard. Those were the four.
I
Like,
could see the Dukes of
absolute
Hazzard.
no's. Yeah.
Wow.
I've had a very strict upbringing. Very, very strict. Wasn't
Oh.
allowed. Mm-hmm. But of course, as soon as mom and dad went out,
Yeah.
my brother and I would like switch. All right, what channel did they leave it on? 27. All right, we got to remember, put it back on 27. Then we flip through the stations and, try to catch a glimpse of Happy Days. Crazy.
I never heard
Now
of
think about
anybody
what's on TV
having
now.
that.
Right?
Oh
Now,
my.
They're swearing on TV.
Oh, yeah, the
There's
language.
practical like sex on. I mean,
There's women coming out of their when they unzip.
it's
They're
everything.
actually coming
it's
out.
everything. We've come a long way, and in some ways, not a good way. You know.
Oh my.
Yeah.
In some ways, I would like to turn back time a little bit on certain aspects of society. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk
Anyway, you came in with these two giant platters. And when last we had you here, we couldn't go to the Stonington Como because it was sold out because they were going to honor you.
about.
God knows why. You don't
They must
do
have They
anything.
ran out of people.
Right.
But, thank you to the Stonington Community Center for that honor.
This is
And
beautiful.
do I hold
Look
it up
at
towards
this.
you?
Yeah,
I was going to change my camera.
I want to make sure
Wait,
that
she's
Susan
going to change the
Scala
camera.
gets the recognition she deserves. The gift to the chamber was this custom painted plate that has all of our events, the major events, represented on it. Lovingly hand painted by Sue Scala, an artist of Stonington. So it's got everything. It's got the duck race, the Athena Award, the art festival, the lobster trap tree. It mentions the pop-up book, the Virtue Art Festival. And then on the back, it says celebrating 100 years, and it has our mission statement. And, thanks for all
What
you do.
a talented person.
I can't even
she
imagine
is.
how long this
So what
took.
is the other one?
So
There's
it was
two
a
of
dual
them.
honoree. One was the chamber as an organization, and one was me.
I see,
As-
and me is written on the back.
Yep. As
Love, who's put so much love and energy into building a community for over 30 years. You've been
they
doing
rounded
this?
up a little bit.
I don't think you're
Wow.
old enough to
I'm
be doing
29
this.
years in October.
Mhm.
I've worked.
Wow.
They must be including my time when I worked in Mystic for 6 years at the community center, because I've been 29
know
years
you
at the
did that.
chamber. But they're gorgeous.
Oh,
and
please don't let anything happen
No,
to them.
they
Put them
won't. But I just wanted to show folks because that night, I kind of held them up for a picture and then had to step aside because they got other business to conduct at the Como. But
They are
Susan
gorgeous.
deserves to have her work showcased, and I wanted to share those today because we're very proud of them. And
Does she do
That's
any
meaningful.
of the buoys for the lobster trap
she'll
tree?
do this year probably in the neighborhood of 40 buoys for the
She'll
fish
do 40 herself?
herself. Because when
Ooh.
somebody sponsors a buoy, we send them an email and
Right.
says, "Here's 40 or 50 artists.
Oh,
Whose
I
work
see.
do you like?"
Oh boy.
And so if somebody picks her, they say, "Okay, I pick Susan. I would like her to paint my boat or my building or my product or my mother-in-law or my pet snake or my this or my that." And then I write to Susan and go, "Hey, you just got
You
picked.
good?
Do you want to paint this?" Because some artists don't do portraits. Some artists don't do landscapes.
Right.
Some artists, don't do certain products.
She does everything though. I
She
bet.
can do anything. She really, she is
It
multidisciplinary.
amazes me how she got all your events in, just about all your
She's
major
a
events.
storyteller. She's not writing a book, but she's telling a story with her artwork, whether she does it on a pitcher like that you would serve lemonade out of, or a plate, which she does a lot of, or other types of things. She's not, quote, just a painter that does canvases on the wall, although that's her bread and butter. She does a lot of this kind of thing. And let's say you have a
Fantastic.
nonprofit and you want to give a gift to everyone that comes to your event. She can do small, like spoon rests or
Oh, that's
other
cute.
things that are takeaway, ornaments, takeaway things that commemorate a particular event or milestone. So she's wonderful to work with, and she also volunteers her time doing lots for the Stonington Community Center. So it was a special night. Mostly, I was so grateful that I had the good fortune to have my family with me. My mother,
How nice.
to have your mother with you the night before Mother's Day when you're getting an award like that, and look at your mom and she's all welled up with tears and stuff. That to me is
Now,
the
did
most
your daughter
meaningful.
come from DC?
My daughter flew in from DC. My youngest daughter from North Carolina came up, and now she's living here in Massachusetts,
Oh, yay.
Chicopee. And my son, who he's like, I don't know, he makes like 2 appearances a year in public. He actually, got dressed up.
this
and
was
came
one?
out. This was one
Oh,
of
okay.
them. He's like the groundhog, There's like, I can count on him at Christmas and
There's 2 more
Mother's
weeks
Day,
of summer.
and that's it. But he even came
It
out.
must
so-
be that you make a prime rib for Christmas.
yeah, he's a beef guy, but
Yeah. So that must be the
No,
other
it was
one.
great.
I mean,
And
I might come over for Christmas.
I, I'm not great at cooking. It's not my forte, and I don't even enjoy it. But prime rib is not hard.
No.
And I make a really awesome prime rib,
All
I have
right.
to say. But so
Wow.
thank you to the Como.
All
Glad to
right,
be
and
there.
congratulations. I walked through Virtue, the art show this weekend, and I wasn't feeling that well, so I didn't spend the time I would have liked to have
Gotcha.
spent. I went through from one end of the park to the other and talked to some of the artists, and they were really happy with it. I was asking, hey, how was it? And they were saying, this has been great. The people are good.
We get
People
a lot
were
of
buying.
appreciation, a lot of recognition. I mean, when the show was over and we were packing them up and getting them out of there, one man just stood up and he threw his arm and he yelled at the top of his lung, "Thank you, Virtue staff and committee. You're awesome." Because it's volunteers. It's the Hauser family. And we're talking Rudy Sr., Rudy Jr., his brother, his sister, their significant others, whether they're married or have girlfriends.
Well, their mom had a big part in this.
And they've been involved with the chamber, and Rudy Jr. is on our board. So they're huge. It's Mike Benavides. It's Margaret Wasmer. It's my amazing staff. I mean, Maria has it so organized that the artists who generally don't read any information before they come to the show, despite her sending them everything, she takes a breath and she tries to go through everything so that they have all the details.
Do you know why it's so organized? Because
Maria.
Well, people are scared of Maria.
Whatever.
Because if
they're not afraid enough, or they would read.
She's wonderful, but I know she has a temper. They're scared of her, as they used to say at my school.
Well,
so
I wish more respected the work that she did.
She does a fabulous
and read
job.
before they came, because she's there and she's put her heart and soul into it. And then, so where do we park? And it's like, oh my God, you got that.
It was on page 3, you nimwit, but she smiles.
Where do we get lunch? And where's the bathroom? And where's all, so
maybe you should have Maria and Ben get together, and Ben can memeify it for today's generation.
There you go.
Yeah, just all memes.
Yeah,
another good idea.
It might work.
I'm on a roll.
But we're lucky.
It's frightening.
Even though we're sort of half joking here a little bit, we're grateful to the artists. They come back, and it's not easy to do.
You
an
had
art show.
what, about 140 or something?
About 150, and it was variety all over the place.
Oh, it was.
I bought some earrings. I tried to buy a painting. I did not find a painting this year. I looked at a couple, but they weren't really romancing the way I need to, put in $1,000 or something, because I tend to buy originals when I buy. But there was some beautiful stuff there, and I did buy a really great gift. I can't describe it, but it's for our Citizen of the Year, Steve White, and it's personalized. And
you got to the W's. Huh?
I can't wait for him to get it. It's going to be awesome. So it was a great show, and the volunteers are amazing, and the artists are great. And thank you to everyone who sponsored as well, like the Westerly Community Credit Union, Bouvier Insurance, and Yale New Haven Health. And of course, couldn't do it without the support of the library.
The library and Alan Peck in the park.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I'm always amazed when you have events in the park, like Virtue, like the Garden Market Fair, like the one I will be working for the umpteenth time, the Pops concert coming up in June, how you can have thousands of people coming through, and
3 hours later,
everywhere.
It looks like nothing ever happened.
Exactly. It's just every leaf is in place.
Yeah.
That is just such a treasure for this community.
And we lucked out with weather, of course, because we had rain, but it was after we set up, and it was at night, and it was, we had, for example, a security person cancel at the last minute at 3 o'clock.
Ooh.
Who do you think did security until 11 o'clock at night?
Maria?
You?
Oh, really?
There's a lot of activity in that park, so you're constantly zooming around with.
Did you have a big doggie with you?
I did not have a doggie.
I don't know if I'd be afraid of
Could
you,
have had
Lisa.
Roxy.
I don't know if you would have deterred me from doing anything
trust
bad.
me.
Are you scary?
Well, I can.
Wait a minute. Wait. You forget. She told us a story a couple of years ago at the lobster trap tree when the woman threw the rubbish out of her car window.
Oh my God.
And
Yes.
she ran
Ran
a
after her.
mile
I
after
did.
her. And
Yeah, I did. That's gross. That's my pet peeve is litter.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I have a couple other ones. But yeah, no, everyone was great. The park is still open. People can walk their dogs and walk through and
Sure.
throw a frisbee and lie down in the grass. And we encourage all that. Just stay away from the tents. Don't steal. Don't vandalize. Don't be a jerk. It's pretty simple.
Hopefully you didn't have any of that.
No, we did not
I
have
mean,
any
the
of that.
people I saw were absolutely wonderful.
We've had the show's been going on a long time now. Have there been
40,
rare
4
instances?
years or something?
29.
Oh, okay.
We've had a
I
couple
get a
rare
little
instances
confused.
in the
There's
past.
so many events in my head.
I chased a shoplifter up the hill in the park and up to her house.
Oh my God.
Up to her house, called the police, and she got arrested. She had shoplifted from 2 or 3 of the vendors, and they called me and told me, and they said she was leaving the park. They described what she was wearing.
You must be a hell of a runner.
I got long legs. My dad was
Yeah.
on the track team.
Lisa
I got
only
good
needs to
DNA.
take like 4 steps to like equate to my 10.
Well, she didn't know I was behind her. I was very stealthy, but we took care of that. But no, we had no incidents. But my point was when the rain started, the downpour, everyone left the park.
Oh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, now this is good. This is a good security gig. When there's nobody here. There's nobody here that I have to chase away. But it was fun. So that's all in the past. Looking ahead, this week we have Sunday Fun Day.
I was going to say this
3
is the
weeks in a
first-
row.
Your first Sunday Fun
Yep.
Day.
And
1, 8, and 15, Father's Day.
Yeah, I know Grace in particular, who works so hard on these events, is not going to like my next saying, but I missed it. I'm glad it's back. You know, it's been a while. We haven't done them since the fall. So we're
You
gonna,
don't want to do it in the dead of winter.
No.
Wouldn't be fun day.
So we're going to do 3 of them. The 1st, the 8th, and the 15th. Come out, support downtown. There's going to be some fun vendors there.
Are you
going to
have
do
dragon
mini golf.
dancing again from Koi?
Koi has arranged for that in the past on their anniversary years. So we're not having that
Uh,
this year. They come down from Providence and they're a pretty significant expense. We already contract for several bands throughout the day and
it's ongoing music.
and children's entertainment. And then all the crafts are free. So there's make it and take it programs for kids, which we went through. I don't know. Well, I can tell you,
Gonna have golf?
we went through $1,700 worth of free crafts at Virtue this weekend. That's what it cost us for the supplies that we bought.
Yeah, it's only free for you.
So that
free for them.
$1,700.
So that families could come and sit down and do projects and take them home with them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But
That
it's
is-
great. It's a great, wholesome family
That's
event
why
for
you
everybody.
get honored with what you get honored.
Yeah.
Because you come up with these
we
things.
want to bring the whole community together, and I want our events to always be family friendly, and regardless of somebody's ability to pay, I want them to be able to go. And that's why things like Sunday Fun Day are important. Things like Virtue, things like the holiday stroll, the light parade, these are things that have no cost to the public, and it's the quality of life and it's the spirit of community that makes us who we are here in Westerly and Stonington. So please come this weekend. We would love to see you. The fun starts at noon. Now, it's going to look a little different this year. Normally, we block off the street with orange barricades and a police car.
Right.
We will, unfortunately, have to block off the street with very large vehicles. So it might make it difficult to see that there's tents and cool stuff happening because a large vehicle will be there. And the reason is it's out of safety. If you've been seeing some of the really devastating accidents,
Yes.
or I guess I
Someone
can't call it an accident.
driving into a crowd.
Right, terrorism. It's not. I guess that's the only word that comes to mind because accident's not strong enough. Where people, in New Orleans and in other countries last week in Europe, people are getting crazier and crazier and just looking for big crowds of people and mowing them down with their vehicle. So preemptively, we are putting giant vehicles at the end of our Sunday Fun Day street.
Well, we thank the chamber, and we also have to thank our police department
Absolutely.
for that. They are always on top of everything.
The police support everything that we do. And this is an instance where, it's their concern being brought to us. We agree. And we've reached out and we have people like Rocky's Tree Service, Sherenzia Excavation, Michelli's Furniture, different businesses in the community that own large vehicles that will work with us each week to block off both ends.
Well, hats off to them.
Yes. Yep. So we appreciate that. A little further down the line on June 18th, we are honoring Steve White. We mentioned him briefly from Westerly Community Credit Union, and also Frank Vertaco of Vertaco Electric.
Who does so much for you, especially with the lobster trap tree.
Yeah. We have never paid a penny for electrical for the lobster tree.
Wow.
Nothing. So he pays his staff of 3 for 2 or 3 days to do all the work down there to set it up. And then he pays them to take it down when it's over. And he will not charge us anything for that. That's his community contribution, because he's so about family and he's so about tradition, and he loves the joy that that project brings. That's his commitment. So Frank's a great guy, and we're super grateful for him. That's not the only thing he's done for us over the years, and people will learn more with the video that Grace is putting together about him. And there'll also be a video dedicated in honor of Steve White. So it's going to be a fun night, June 18th. Tickets are on sale now at oceanchamber.org. Obviously, it's a full dinner. It's at Venice Restaurant, and we're going to have a great time. And it's our 100th anniversary. So it's going to be extra special is all I want to
100th
say.
anniversary makes me think about those figures that you have in your
basement. Oh, I'm calling it the morgue, because if you go down in my basement right now, there's 35 men 6 feet tall with plastic bags over their head. It was a little creepy.
She's not serious. She's talking about those Christmas things.
Nutcrackers.
No, yeah, nutcrackers.
Nutcrackers.
I'm like,
those
you
Christmas
haven't,
things.
you didn't actually say not really.
No, I just said 35 men. But yeah, it's a bunch of nutcrackers, which is part of our 100th anniversary celebration. Now that's really looking ahead. That's a full 6 months down the road.
Yeah.
But we only have
Gets here
3
fast.
left of the 100 nutcrackers. We're down to 3. So if somebody wanted one, they would have to call to get theirs reserved, and then we would get it painted. St. Michael's School called yesterday and got one. There's various businesses, nonprofits, schools that are all participating.
And how much are they?
All right. Well, before I say how much they are, I want to back into it. We've had to acquire the nutcrackers from all sorts of locations. I'm driving 4.5 hours this week to pick one up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And then I have to turn around and drive 4.5 hours back, because it's so weighty on this particular one that the shipping would be close to $500. So instead, I'm going to give up 9 hours of my life, and God knows what the mileage reimbursement's going to be, but it's going to be less than $500. I know that.
Where in Pennsylvania?
Don't test my memory.
Oh,
I just
all right.
committed to it. Yeah, I can't remember the town that it's in, because I'm like, Pennsylvania's a big state.
Yeah, it certainly is.
If it was Pittsburgh, I wouldn't be going, because that used to be a 12-hour drive.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
way
not.
in the west.
So it's closer than Pittsburgh is all I'll say. Because when I looked and I said 4.5, I think I could do that. I've already driven to Epping, New Hampshire. I've driven to Canada. I've driven everywhere to acquire this ensemble of 100 nutcrackers. It's crazy, because they've been sold out for months. So for me to get a one-off is very difficult to get them at this point. And we don't want to wait till they come out again this next season, because that's not going to give my artists enough time to use a blank nutcracker and get it beautifully painted to be on display for something that starts in November. That's why we're painting them in May and June and July, and I'm driving to Pennsylvania.
Let me just ask our producer, do we need to stop at 4:30, or can she keep going?
No, you can keep going.
All right.
Okay, you're going right to the end.
So let's say that I'm buying this nutcracker for $460.
Right.
I'm going to travel. It's probably going to cost me $200 in gas. So
yeah.
now you're up to $660. I have to pay the artist to paint it. Then we have to get it professionally photographed. We have to pay someone to put it on the
Sounds
website.
like about $1,500.
It should be
to me.
$1,500 minimum. But because we are the nonprofit that tries to do things at the lowest possible rate for anybody, it's $1,000 to cover our costs. So let's be clear.
Very reasonable.
Yeah. It's not a fundraiser. It's a community booster to promote the community, as so many of the things that
And
we do are.
whomever buys this may have the artists do whatever they want
Of course.
with it.
Yes. Yes.
So like the lobster trap tree.
Very much like a buoy. You custom pick. Do you want your nutcracker to have white hair, brown hair, black hair, silver hair? Do you want his jacket to be red, green? What kind of theme do you want? I don't want to give away too many of the special things, but like, for example, Vesta Bakery, their nutcracker has a cake on its head. It's got cupcakes on its shoulders. It's got all kinds of pastel colors. It's delicious just to look at. Sift Bakery has a chef's hat on it, and it's holding a tray with a gingerbread cookie on it and a rolling pin. And Westerly Dental, theirs is holding a 6-foot tall toothbrush that says Westerly Dental. So they can be customized to promote your business. And then these people will own them and they can use them every single year as decoration.
Wonderful.
So yes, it is a $1,000 investment for a custom made thing that plays music, lights up.
It plays music.
Whoa. You've never said that before.
No, I was going to say.
It plays music. I'm telling you.
What do you mean music? What kind of music?
One song, the March of the Soldier.
Oh, so everybody is everybody.
Are they all in
the same?
And it
March of the Wooden Soldiers.
That's the song.
They're all in sync. Like
the lights on its chest turn blue, green, yellow, red.
Well, they wouldn't be in sync. They're not coming in a line.
Yeah, there's a sensor on its belt. So you can keep it so that every time somebody walks by, it turns on. Or if you're like, that's going to drive me bonkers, you can shut it off so it doesn't play
So
music.
you can't have 100 bottles of beer on the wall.
No, that's not a song that we can play. Unless maybe Frank Vertaco can somehow work his magic and get a different playlist. Yeah, exactly. But I hope at no point that we get the idea to put them all on at the same time when they're on display.
That's what she was getting at.
At the United Theater. That would just be like it's fine. Information overload.
All right, I need a special episode of Westerly alone in the United Theater with a bunch of men with bags over their heads. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to that. Now, just to back it up off the holiday season, Riverglow, the biggest, event after the pops in our summer here in this community.
Yo, that event is fire.
July 26th.
July 26th?
It's really important to mention it's not the normal date. It's always the first Saturday of August, but we could not do it that year for a variety of reasons. So it's July 26th, downtown, free and open to the public. You've got jugglers, fire eaters, belly dancers, steel drum band, all kinds of live music, festivities, a great time.
And Maria and Rudy in the little boat with the blowtorch.
Possibly. They've been doing it for years. So we'll see. They work hard. It's a great team of volunteers. The following Saturday is August 3rd. That's the day that the chamber is having what we're calling the party of the century.
The 100th.
The 100th. It will be under a tent in Watch Hill on the green where the gazebo is. It'll be right there. So we'll have a beautiful sunset. We'll have a band called Blurred Lines.
Yes.
We will have it catered by Watch Hill Catering with some additional foods provided to us by Vesta Bakery, by Westerly Packing, by Sift Bake Shop, and others. It's going to be a wonderful event. This is not an event with a lot of pomp and circumstances and speeches and all that. No. Our annual dinner has some formality to it. We're going to get it out of our system there like we usually do. This is just a party.
Yay.
We're 100. We deserve to just, just party because we're 100.
I'd like to make a speech. We're 100.
That's it. Toast. There we go. Get back to the dance floor. So those tickets are on sale on our website as well, oceanchamber.org. Those are $125. Believe me, I wanted to make them 100. I did. But when you're renting a tent and a dance floor and paying for food, and there was just literally no way that we could do it.
It's $100 in 2025 though. So 125.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Very good.
I am on a roll.
You got it.
I know. I'm getting scared.
I missed it.
All right. Do we need a break?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Keep going.
So we are on a roll. All right. I want to revisit our recent purchase of 170 Main Street. If you get our newsletter, you saw it was on the front cover.
Sitting in my living room
provided
right now.
all the details so people can see how the heck did this thing come to fruition. And, we explained we've been toying with this concept for like 6 years now. And we've looked at other properties. This was not the first property. It was like the 5th or the 6th, actually.
Really?
Yes. But there's lots of factors that go into making a major purchase like this. Location being one, price being one, meeting our needs for storage and office and everything else. So this was the right move for us. So we had the closing about a week and a half ago. It's officially ours. I haven't even walked into it since we had the closing. But why would you want to? There's not even electricity.
I was going to say there's no
You'd have to go
electricity
in
or
with
running
your,
water
with your
or
flashlight.
anything.
I'm not even sure the other day with the rain, because the way the roof is, I'm pretty sure there's like a puddle in there that needs to be dealt with. So we are finding out tomorrow what day the roofing starts. Pawcatuck Roofing is giving us a new roof for free. That's going to be the first thing that
Wonderful.
people will notice when they go by. As soon as that gets done, or even simultaneously, Rotaco Electric has already applied for the application to bring the electrical to the building. So those are going to be the first two things that I hope within a month will happen. By the end of the summer, we will have that building sided, all new siding. I don't know who. So if you're one of our chamber members and you do siding and you're thinking, who got that job? Nobody got that job. We didn't put it out to bid yet. Any chamber member will have the opportunity to bid when we're at that step. We are obviously only going to use chamber members for this project.
Of course.
Once we get it sided, then the next thing is digging up that parking lot and laying pipe and bringing in the pipe to do water, so that we can have running water in the building for bathrooms or a kitchenette or
That's always nice.
a toilet, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. So that's the order of things. And we will continue to update the
You have a
community.
target date?
I mean, I want to be in it in the fall with all of our supplies in a dry environment that pertain to our foundation.
Very ambitious. But you are very
Listen,
ambitious.
I think we can do that. Because even if we don't have the water, so what? If we have lights,
If you build it, they
we
will
can put the 20,000 ducks
Don't
in there
push it.
without a restroom, just storage. We can do storage. I mean, our basement at the chamber doesn't have water at
Oh, the big
accessible.
thing about storage is you just need something dry.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring some of our stuff. Our stage will get moved down there.
Your
Our
duckies?
Our duckies are definitely coming down there. The foundation office will go down there. So everything to do with the chamber foundation will be there. And we'll move in some other stuff, and then we'll reassess and say, how much space do we really have to work with once we've done these things that we know we want to do? Do we use all of that space for ourselves and free up more space in our basement? I love that idea. Do we potentially rent out a little bit of space? We've had some artists approach us and say we need some studio space. That would be really great for us downstairs. And we're considering a shared space for artists to come in, like a co-op where they can make their sculptures and things. We don't know how much room we're going to have once we take care of our own needs. Now, the upstairs is a big question mark. We might make 2 apartments upstairs. This town needs housing desperately. What better place to live than in the heart of downtown, where you can walk to these events, support your local coffee shop and all the great restaurants. So we may put 2 apartments, or we may do office space up there, some for ourselves or some to lease out to somebody. So those decisions haven't been made yet. That's why we have a board of directors. They are surveying what the needs are.
Have they toured it yet?
No, only 3 of them that initially looked at it last fall when it initially went up on the market as part of the overall parcel with the Marone Electric building. So Mike Benavides, myself, Dan Lathrop, I'm trying to think, maybe Jen Brenton, we all looked at it then, and none of us have been in it since. I'll probably park one of the vans down there just for a little visibility, just to have it off site. But that's what's going on with 170 Main Street. So,
Great.
exciting, but expensive. It is what it is. I do want to thank Carlos, who owns Mario's North End Pizzeria and the Flying Hoof. He's done a series of Dine to Donate events supporting lots of nonprofits. We were one, and we got our check today, as did several other groups. And I also want to thank the Andrea, who on their opening day, the Andrea Beach Bar, they gave 10% of their profits to the chamber. So we took a check for that today as well, which was wonderful.
Great.
And that's going to the building fund. So
should make like a DJ to donate event.
Oh, really?
Who has a venue?
I don't know. The venue's going to be 170 Main Street.
I was going to say, is there?
I don't know what the first event is going to be in there, but it's going to be something cool.
DJ to donate.
We have set the date for the 50 under 50 event.
Ooh.
So this is basically a celebration party for those people that were recognized through this 50 under 50 program. It's going to be on Tuesday, July 22nd at Saltwater Farm Vineyard in Stonington. It's an old refurbished airport hangar, beautiful grounds. They're normally closed on Tuesdays. They're opening up special for this event. And our honorees will obviously be free. They will be our
glad
guests.
they finally joined the chamber. I've worked with them since they opened.
Their staff
And
is
I know
amazing.
Kingdom of the Hawk as well.
Yes, they're beautiful facilities and
they're great people. Marilee and
they
Michael.
work hard. They work
Yes.
hard. So
So now will that event be only open to people
No.
under 50?
anybody can buy a ticket.
You're not invited, Ron.
All right. Anyone can buy a ticket for a whopping $20.
A whole
Oh, wow.
20.
You get a drink ticket when you walk in the door. So
Right.
you can go get a drink and you'll get access to the food that will be there and be a part of it. Our 50 award winners are free, obviously.
Of course.
So yes, those tickets haven't gone on sale yet. We haven't even informed the honorees in writing that that's the date. We just sealed the information today with Marilee. So we are excited to do that.
They're great people to work with.
No, they are. And then the 50 over 50 nominations will start in June. And that event will have its own party later in the year, in the wintertime. We're looking at 2 venues.
Assisted living?
No, no. Although those facilities are gorgeous, I wouldn't mind a party at Masonic Care or Fairview. They're pretty beautiful.
You're right.
But no, we've narrowed it down. There's one Westerly location that's ideal, and then there's a Stonington location. So I just want to thank 321 Media and also Valenti Family of Auto Dealerships because they partnered with us to do this program, and it's really exposed a community to a lot of faces of people that they didn't already know. These are not your usual suspects of people that are out there getting recognized. There are a lot of behind the scenes people that are making this community what it is. So it was fun to work on this together with them. A little public service announcement. This is the time of year where we say thank you and goodbye to our interns that have been with us from the local high schools or the college. We were fortunate. We had 3 interns this year, one from Westerly, one from Stonington, and one from URI. So they are all finishing up now. And we are interviewing interns for the summer. So I just got in a correspondence today from someone from URI that's interested. He's going to put forth a proposal to his professor, and he'll get 3 course credits if it's approved for working with us on marketing, communications, event production.
It's not just community hours.
Yeah, no. They're working.
Terrific.
They're working and they're learning. And you know, when you learn, that means sometimes you make a mistake or two, and that's okay too. That's how we learn.
That's how you learn. Exactly.
They're great people with their hearts in the right place, and we stand by them and their efforts, and we certainly appreciate them. So if you have a kid at home, a high school student that has some time and they want to work with us this summer and boost their resume and get that experience and exposure to a lot of different businesses, those connections will last forever and will serve them well down the road. But now's the time that transition takes place between the 2 classes. We have a couple new members that just joined this week. We have Sea Swirl, Dairy Queen, Breachway Grill. So
all food.
food, and food. It's that time of year. So
yeah. And Sea Swirl's known for fried clams, not just ice cream.
And they have a new thing now.
Oh.
It's shaped like a cone.
Right.
But it's like a cone of a bread, a thicker bread than normal.
Like a cornucopia?
And they pour into the cone. You ready for this?
No.
Different choices. One is clam chowder.
What?
And it doesn't leak and
See
gets
you
squishy.
later.
The other is lobster mac and cheese.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
One is regular mac and cheese. So there's 5 options, and no one else in this 2-state area is doing this.
What a smart idea.
If you go to their Facebook page, you see a video that this guy from Public Creatives, John Michael, put together, and he shows you how they make each one. It's awesome.
You got to do it so it doesn't leak.
It
That's
doesn't
the
leak. How do I
biggie.
know? Because the day after I saw this video, I went there and I
gotta
ordered
go.
one, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
It's
Did you
again,
get the chowder?
No, I got the lobster mac and cheese,
All
and
right.
it was loaded with lobster.
And that's
I was not disappointed.
That's thicker. That could hold, but you've got to have really good bread if you're going to.
I'm gonna try that.
It's more than a bread. I don't even know what they would call it. It's not a cone like for ice cream. It's harder, but then you pull it off and you can dip it or whatever.
Oh, smart.
No, it's really.
I bet they
a
worked
cool
on that a
presentation.
while to perfect
I don't know
it.
where they saw it or how they got the idea, but hats off to them and welcome to them to the chamber. We're happy to have them. All right, what else? How much time do we have? Because I know we have a great AI.
You get about
program.
15 minutes.
Oh, geez, I'm going to be tap dancing. All right, AI, artificial intelligence.
That's right. You have a seminar coming up.
Yes, I hope someone from my office is going to text me the details on this.
I thought you were going to start talking about me. Artificial intelligence.
I feel like
You could look it up
I
on
gotta
the
pull it up.
on the
What
chamber.
am I
Yeah,
doing?
look up on the chamber website the AI seminar
It's an
that's
event.
coming up.
So first
Event.
of all, it's free. It wasn't free to us. We bought into the program so it would be free to our members.
Right.
So you can stay at home and watch it. You can come into our office and watch it.
That's
if
right. You can
want.
do it on
It's all
Zoom
good.
or
And it's a program that's being led by chamber experts on the other side of the country and different chambers around the country. It's like pay-per-view.
yes.
Coffee with class?
Nope.
Nope.
So we are all putting in money to be able to access this information and offer it to our members. And once we get the date, we'll talk about it. It's really important. It's a time-saving tool for small businesses. Whether you are updating your website and you're looking for creative copy for your
$5.29.
website, or maybe you're looking to help update your menus and how do you use descriptive words to describe your items
or
on your
spell
menu.
things right.
So it's
Maybe you're
I
developing a personnel policy.
That's one of my
It's tomorrow.
pet
Is it
peeves.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is that noontime? or
It's at 1.
1 o'clock tomorrow.
It's online.
So
It's
it's
a
not
90-minute
too late
webinar.
to register. And what you do is you register through us at oceanchamber.org.
Yeah, because you have to have the link for Zoom.
Maria will send you the link because it's free to our members.
Here, I'll share it on my
Non-members can
DJ
pay.
page too.
So non-members can pay, which is fine, and get it. But if you're a member, you're going to get it for free.
Wonderful.
And this is
you
just,
do so much for this
it's not
community.
enough. It's never enough. We can always do more. And
But you do so much for your members. Most chambers don't do that. It's pay your dues every year and we'll have a couple of events.
well, you know,
You do a lot for your members all the time. They're right up front, number one.
we try to be affordable and accessible, and we understand our audience. There are neighboring chambers that are great, and actually neighboring chambers that offer AI programs. One was $75. That's not us. It might be better, different content, better content. I don't know. We spent the money so that our members don't have to, and they can learn it for free
Right.
through this. It's all good. Every chamber is different. Some excel in some area. It's all good. This was the avenue we chose to go. If we find out that it's not as robust of information, we can always offer something down the road. But we want to be cognizant of the budgets. I'm always looking for what is the highest value we can deliver to our members. Some members are going to get their money back tenfold in gift certificates, but that's not everybody. If you're a funeral home, you're not going to get one. I guarantee it. Okay. But maybe the funeral home might need the AI program, or creating a positive workforce culture. They might want to do that.
Staff morale.
Staff morale,
Uh-huh.
exactly. Or some of the other free programs where it's not free to us. We're buying the pizza, we're buying the salad, we're buying the soda, we're welcoming you to our business information center at One Chamber Way, where you can network with others and get educated on something and take it home. We did.
So this is 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Not too late. Not too late.
So people should call 596-7761.
Sure. And
Am I
Maria or
right?
Grace will send you the link.
Good.
We did tip certification about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yes, you did.
The room was packed. There wasn't an empty seat. So Lake of Isles Golf Course in North Stonington, Connecticut sent their staff here to Westerly because it was free and it was something we were providing. So to your point, it's not, when someone joins, it's the start of the relationship. That's it. It's just the start. You know,
Mhm.
we want to cultivate that relationship. I want at the end of the year when they get that
also
dues
have
renewal.
to put something in. If people join the chamber and never go to a business after hours and never do anything, and then say, "Well, I didn't do anything," you didn't do anything.
I mean, even so, like, I feel like I don't do enough for the chamber. I haven't really volunteered in a while, but at the same time, every single time I call Lisa and I'm like, I really need advice on how to do this, or I really, like, what should I do here? She's like, do you want to set up a meeting? I have time on
Instantly.
Whenever.
I love where you're going, that you think everyone needs to put in, but honestly, my philosophy is different. When you join, you're paying money. You're putting in right then and there. The clock starts ticking that moment.
Yeah, but
I need to pay you back.
You can't
over that year.
You can't
That's the way I
just
look at it.
write a check and sit back like this and say, "All right, do something
For
for
some
me."
people, they can.
I mean, I'm going to tell people
Because
that they can write me a check
let me tell you,
anytime and I'll do whatever.
Dairy Queen and Sea Swirl that just joined, if they never come to a networking event, I bet you both will get their dues back in gift certificates.
Oh, sure,
and
they
then
will.
some. So
Because
it's
of-
what level do you want to get back? You know, they're going to get paid. They're giving us money. They're going to get their money back. There's certain businesses I know don't have to worry about them. They're going to be happy when the year's up. If it's a retail shop, same thing. I want to make sure I'm working hard to promote them with videos or reels that we create, or paying them with gift certificates. But there's service industry. If you're putting mufflers on a car, I got to work a little harder. I got to find other ways. Do they want to come to a business after hours at 5:00 after they've been working on mufflers?
Probably not.
Maybe not.
They're probably still working and they're dirty.
So what else can I do
You know?
that adds value to their business, that either makes them money or saves them money? It all kind of comes
But
down
how
to
many
that.
members do you have?
868.
Right.
Woo.
If you tried to make 868 people happy,
We do try.
You'd be dead.
Different people
Then
get
that-
different
Then the funeral
levels
home
of
would have business.
This is the best debate.
I have 3 kids, so I deal with this all the time.
I love this.
Who needs the most from you? Who needs the least? Who gets the most of your attention? Do you
Yeah.
love them all the same? You know,
No.
yes, I do. Love
I mean,
them all
I
the
was
same,
honestly thinking
but
when
they
you
don't all
said
get the same,
Right.
Because what you need today, you're going to get, but he or she may need something next week, and then you get kind of put aside a little bit. I'm going to give you all that I can, but you have to spread it around.
Sure.
And we can always do more. We can always do better. Having said that, we're a whopping staff of 3. So we're doing our
Which is
best.
amazing.
We're doing our best.
when you
Um,
were saying the AI thing, I was thinking about how my shop, I own an auto shop. You might not know anything about putting mufflers on a car, but I mean, the AI really helps us when I can enter into whatever, we did an oil change on this date, and I should call this customer back on that date because it's either time or mileage. You're gonna be there and be like, hey, did you need another oil change? Stuff like that, like, keeps my business
Exactly.
alive.
Sadly. Well,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
all right.
You've got about 5 minutes.
All right. Well, I got more stuff to talk about. So
of course you do.
thank you to Verizon. Their check came in. They wrote a grant and it was
Ooh.
approved based on the volunteer service that Patrick and his team provide to our organization. The Verizon mothership approved their grant application for $5,000. So the
Terrific.
chamber got that. So that'll be used a few different ways. 1,000 of it will go so that Verizon can have a nutcracker in their business.
Ooh.
Okay. Another 1,200 of it will go to the lobster trap tree. That will get them a sponsorship of the tree and their buoy in the front and all that. And then there's other things where the remaining money gets sprinkled out so that they get some recognition, like for the light parade or whatever. But it's
That's
a
really
wonderful
cool.
Partnership. And he's coming on our board starting in June.
Patrick is.
Oh my God,
Wonderful.
he has the energy of a rock star.
He does.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
he's gonna be a handful, but in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
In a great way. We're excited about it. The other thing that I thought I should mention is the Athena Award. It's coming up in terms of when we start seeking nominations for that. That generally goes out the end of June, and the event is in October, the end of October. So to refresh people's memory on what that event is about, Athena is an award that recognizes an individual. It does not have to be female, even though it tends to be. That is not a requirement. We've had men nominated in the past. But one of the criteria is you have to have demonstrated that you've helped females achieve leadership roles. Now, that is the criteria that was established by the National Athena program. So for us to be a part of that program, we have to follow suit. So there are guys out there that are coaches.
100%.
There are guys that are creating jobs. There are guys that are in jails teaching women new crafts and things. And when I say crafts, I'm not talking arts and crafts. I'm talking new skills
Right.
so that when they come back out, they can turn their life around. There's plenty of men doing great things for women. So know that it's available to either males or females. The individuals nominated also have to have exceeded in their own career or profession, and they have to have volunteered in the community. That could be maybe you volunteered for 5 years for one organization, Stand Up for Animals. That's your group, and you give a lot for them. Awesome. Or maybe you volunteer 1 hour a month for 3 different organizations. It doesn't matter. It doesn't define how many groups, how long, whatever. You just have to volunteer. All 3 of those criteria are weighted equally. And so when the committee gets together, they have to look at these awesome nominations that come in, and it is grueling watching them make the decision because they're all great. They're all great. And then they have to narrow it down to pick one. And
I wouldn't want that job.
yeah, it's tough.
I don't
I'm glad
like
I have
judging.
no vote. I've never
Yeah.
had a vote
Nope.
for Athena, Key, Citizen of the Year. I'm just the worker bee, but I do prepare the information to get as much as possible, and then I sit back and watch them, discuss and think about it all.
Does it ever get is there drama? Can we have a reality show? I guess no, it's a secret, right?
There was drama one year
Yeah.
where one person stood up in the room and was pointing their finger and screaming across the table.
This person is better.
Correct.
I love
That was happening. And their person didn't get selected that year, but did another year. So yeah, there's
We
no
don't
reason for
yell at our
drama.
friends.
There's no, it's just respect. It all comes down to respect,
Yeah.
period. Everyone's a volunteer. Just respect everyone. No one's right. You just have your opinion.
I'm always right.
You
but
just have your opinion, and we all have our opinions.
it's hard.
But that's a great, very empowering program. And one of my favorite aspects is all the scholarships that we give away to
Yes.
students from Westerly and Stonington. So those scholarship applications will go out to the schools in mid-August. That way they have, once the kids reconvene, they have about a 2-week time period to get their applications in to be considered.
Woo.
Yeah,
It doesn't give them much time.
they got to focus. It's the first scholarship deadline of the year for these kids.
Good.
But it puts them in the
teaches them something.
it does. It gets them thinking. And then once they do ours, a lot of them kind of cut and paste and use that format for other scholarships. So it's all good.
That's what I
It
did.
sets them up for future
You have
success.
1 minute before I talk about next week, and then we're out.
Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on in this quiet little
I hope everybody's
village
okay.
of ours, little town, but
I'm sure it's going to
it's-
be fine. I want to thank Rocky's Tree Service for hanging our Virtue banner. And I know this week they're coming to take it down and then to hang up the Sunday Fun Day banner, which will be up for 3 weeks. And then that'll come down, and then the River Glow banner will go up. So Rocky's
so
is
he
an
does all
amazing-
your hanging and taking
He
down.
does, and it's his way of giving back to the community. The criteria to have the banner, because we manage the program, the organization has to exist in Westerly. That has to be their home base. The event has to take place in downtown. It has to be free, and it has to be open to the public. So
Oh.
that's the criteria. It can't be a $50 a head dinner, or you're not going to see our part of the century on a banner. No, this is the stuff that's free for the community and
So I
happening.
can't
in
just hang.
downtown.
DJ Gadget is always right.
You
No?
can't.
No, okay.
No,
Fine. I was
No.
just making sure. I was
but
weighing
it's
my
it's
options.
a nice
Oh,
program.
Lord, help
and,
me.
the technology for this banner is new. It's not the thick canvas that the wind can't
Oh?
go through. We haven't done banners in recent years. There's a new technology that now 35% of the wind blows right through it.
Oh,
Like
that's
a
nice.
netting. So it's not as vibrant when you look at it as the old ones because it's on
It's
like a
not going to
screen.
shred either.
Hopefully not.
quickly.
I mean, honestly,
So,
I didn't notice.
Hats
that
off
it
to
wasn't
Printing
vibrant.
Plus because they've got the
Yes.
know-how, and they put this test one up, and it came out really good.
That's great. Lisa, we will see you again on final Wednesday in June is the 25th.
Sounds
I
good.
How do you
believe.
know that?
I don't know.
How?
Just-
All good.
I'm just the
You're
rain.
a
I'm the
walking like
rain man.
calendar. How do you do that?
Next week is I can't believe it seems like I say this about every other week. First Wednesday of the new month, we will have the library twins. Bridget and Bill will be here. And I Love a Cop will have Howie Mills from the Westerly Police Department. Be safe, be well. Make sure you get to Ninigret Park this weekend
Atlantis
and
Rising.
go see this Atlantis Rising as well as the Trolls. Be safe, be well, but always take a chance, take a risk, because you never know what's going to happen. If you do, it could work out, except on the road. Take care.